You were actually on the ground covering two sessions this
Mhm.
year. Can we have some insights from you on what the targets were from last year, what the reports were from last year, and what the goals are for the coming year?
Every year, China's two sessions is getting more and more international attention, which is very interesting. I guess just because every move China makes, either economic, technology, has a global impact. So this year, there are many highlights that got a global attention. Of course, economy, how China continued to develop its economy. And China came out with a series of economic plans that continue to boost China's economy and also boost the global economy. I remember our Prime Minister Wang Yi said China will bring certainty to this uncertain world. They will continue to open up, welcome business people from all around the world to come to China, do businesses. China will not close its door. And meanwhile, China will came out with a series of plans to boost domestic consumption. Previous China's economy was really like export driven economy. But as we know, the changing world, that's not very healthy. So China knows its potential, and China still has a huge potential for domestic consumption that hasn't been released yet. So China has decided to shift the focus to make China's economy a domestic consumption driven economy. That's the focus economically. And internationally, China is very determined that China will be a pillar for the global south and will continue to speak for the justice of the global south. And that's not going to change. And I mean, because it's a domestic plan that sets the yearly goals, there are many things. China pay a lot of attention on technology. I think China pays utmost importance to AI technology in the future, and they want to use the high-tech innovative technology in every field, not just economy. They want to encourage everyone to use high-tech in, say, agriculture industry, in education industry. I mean, that's what technology is for. You need to use the technology to improve people's life, not just to make money. And they want to make sure those technology people, you just adapt those technology in this field. Also, there's one thing probably Western media or people outside of China didn't realize how much attention China has been paying in this field is agriculture. Like economy, technology, national defense. Yes, all these areas are important, but the number one priority for China has always been agriculture, farmers, and rural areas. That's China's number one priority. That can be shown from the number one central government document that China released every year. The number one central government documents, which indicates the government's priority, has always been on agriculture, on rural regions, on improving farmers' life. And this year, it's even more important. I think for every global south countries, I know your viewers are most about like from global south countries. I think it's very important for global south countries because China has been very clear. China knows that the importance of having food sovereignty for a country. That's the basic for everything. You need to keep your people fed. You cannot the China we have a saying the football of Chinese people need to be held by Chinese people. You need to make sure there's enough food to eat to have the basic stability. And history taught us that many countries in the global south, developing countries, food sovereignty has been totally destroyed by the neoliberalism. That's what neoliberalism, imperialism, colonialism are designed to do. Destroy your fertile land, destroy your ability to feed yourself. So you only export your raw materials, these natural products to global north, to developed countries with a cheap price because they are low value added products. And then you consume all these high value added products from global north, from these countries. And so you're always on a deficit. You never outcompete these global north countries. So the global south countries, many countries used to be the bread basket for the region. They used to be so food sufficient, but then somehow they need to import all the food. I think 80 years, like 100 years ago, many countries in the global south were like, they have enough wheat, crops, everything for its people. Now suddenly they have to import 80% of their food and even oil. And that's insane. And that's what this neocolonialism has done to this country, because you only grow cash crops. Cash crop means like coffee beans, bananas, tobacco, these things for the entertainment of catering the rich people in the global north. And you no longer grow wheat, this basic food that you people need to eat, rely on. And you imported this thing from global north countries. So you made yourself at a vulnerable place. You produce things you don't consume. So that's the result. So I think China never let that happen. So that's why for the past few years, agriculture, improving farmers' living standards, improving rural regions has always been number one priority. Like never lose food sovereignty. Always keep the football at your own hand. And that's the foundation for any development. That's just one example of this, one priority of this year's two sessions.